संभव है झंझटों में मैं तुमको भूल जाऊं प्रभु जी। संभव है झंझटों में मैं तुमको भूल जाऊं, पर नाथ कहीं तुम भी मुझको न भुला देना।
भगवान मेरी नैया उस पार लगा देना, अब तक तो निभाया है आगे भी निभा देना।
दल बल के साथ माया घेरे मुझे जो आकर शिव जी। दल बल के साथ माया घेरे मुझे जो आकर, तब देखते ना रहना झट आके चुरा देना।
भगवान मेरी नैया उस पार लगा देना, अब तक तो निभाया है आगे भी निभा देना।
तुम इष्ट मैं उपासक, तुम पूज्य मैं पुजारी शिव जी। तुम इष्ट मैं उपासक, तुम पूज्य मैं पुजारी। यदि सत्य है तो स्वामी सच करके दिखा देना।
भगवान मेरी नैया उस पार लगा देना, अब तक तो निभाया है आगे भी निभा देना।
भगवान मेरी नैया उस पार लगा देना, अब तक तो निभाया है आगे भी निभा देना।
आगे भी निभा देना, आगे भी निभा देना।
आज अंधेरे में हैं हम इंसान, ज्ञान का सूरज चमका दे भगवान।
आज अंधेरे में है हम इंसान, चाँद का सूरज चमका दे भगवान।
भटक रहे हम राह दिखा दे भगवन, राह दिखा दे।
भटक रहे हम राह दिखा दे भगवान,
भगवन किरण बिछा दे।
कदम कदम पर किरण बिछा दे, भगवन किरण बिछा दे।
इन अखियन को प्रभु करा दे,
इन अखियन को प्रभु करा दे।
ज्योति से पहचान,
ज्योति से पहचान।
आज अंधेरे में है हम इंसान, ज्ञान का सूरज चमका दे भगवान। हम तो हैं संतान तिहारी, प्रभु संतान तिहारी।
हम तो हैं संतान तिहारी, प्रभु संसार तिहारी।
तेरी दया के हम अधिकारी, प्रभु हैं हम अधिकारी।
तेरी दया के हम अधिकारी, प्रभु हैं हम अधिकारी।
दुनिया होवे सुखी हमारी,
दुनिया होवे सुखी हमारी।
ऐसा दे वरदान,
ऐसा दे वरदान।
आज अंधेरे में है हम इंसान, ज्ञान का सूरज चमका दे भगवान।
त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव, त्वमेव बन्धु च सखा त्वमेव, त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव, त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देवा। आए भी अकेला, जाए भी अकेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला। आए भी अकेला, जाए भी अकेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला। अकेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला। आए भी अकेला, जाए भी अकेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला। जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला। आए भी अकेला, जाए भी अकेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला। ये जिंदगी है प्यारी, एक झूठ सपना। ये जिंदगी है प्यारी, एक झूठ सपना। गैरों के दुनिया में नहीं कोई अपना। ये जिंदगी है प्यारी, एक झूठ सपना। गैरों के दुनिया में नहीं कोई अपना। सबके रहते हुए मैं हूँ अकेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला। आए भी अकेला, जाए भी अकेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला। 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला।
आए भी अकेला, into this world we have come alone, और जाए भी अकेला, and in a similar manner when we take our exit we shall leave alone. 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला. When we do take stock of our lives, we realize that this life is a very short visit to a mela. This is a world of strangers. No one is yours. Although everyone lives, I am still alone. आए भी अकेला और जाए भी अकेला.
त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव, त्वमेव बन्धु च सखा त्वमेव, त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव, त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देवा. आए भी अकेला, जाए भी अकेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला. आए भी अकेला, जाए भी अकेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला. है पराए, इनके लिए है कितना तूने दुख झेला। 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला, आए भी अकेला, जाए भी अकेला। 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला। काहे तू आया जग में, क्या तुझको करना? काहे तू आया जग में, क्या तुझको करना? नेकी कदम कर ले, दुनिया से डरना हो। काहे तू आया जग में, क्या तुझको करना? नेकी कदम कर ले, दुनिया से डरना। पाप की अगन में खुद को काहे को धकेला? 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला, आए भी अकेला, जाए भी अकेला। 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला। हर की शरण तू हो जा, ध्यान लगा ले। हर की शरण तू हो जा, ध्यान लगा ले। जीवन मिले ना फिर ये, जीवन को पाले। हर की शरण तू हो जा, ध्यान लगा ले। जीवन मिले ना फिर ये, जीवन को पाले। खेल जगत का सारा उसी न है खेला। 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला, आए भी अकेला, जाए भी अकेला। 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला। ये जिंदगी है प्यारी, एक झूठ सपना। ये जिंदगी है प्यारी, एक झूठ सपना। गैरों के दुनिया में नहीं कोई अपना। ये जिंदगी है प्यारी, एक झूठ सपना। गैरों के दुनिया में नहीं कोई अपना। सबके रहते हुए मैं हूँ अकेला। 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला, आए भी अकेला, जाए भी अकेला। 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला।
चल उड़ जा रे पंछी के अब ये देश हुआ बेगाना। चल उड़ जा रे पंछी के अब ये देश हुआ बेगाना। चल उड़ जा रे पंछी। डाली के जिस पर तेरा बसेरा था। खत्म हुए दिन उस डाली के जिस पर तेरा बसेरा था। आज यहाँ और कल हो वहाँ ये जोगी वाला फेरा था। ये तेरी जागीर नहीं थी, ये तेरी जागीर नहीं थी, चार घड़ी का देरा था। सदा रहा है इस दुनिया में किसका वो दाना। चल उड़ जा रे पंछी के अब ये देश हुआ बेगाना। चल उड़ जा रे पंछी के अब ये देश हुआ बेगाना। चल उड़ जा रे पंछी। तूने तिनका चुनकर नगरी एक बसाई। तूने तिनका चुनकर नगरी एक बसाई। बारिश में तेरी भीगी पाके धूप में गर्मी खाई। गम ना कर जो तेरी मेहनत, गम ना कर जो तेरी मेहनत तेरे काम न आई। अच्छा है कुछ ले जाने से देकर ही कुछ जाना। चल उड़ जा रे पंछी के अब ये देश हुआ बेगाना। चल उड़ जा रे पंछी के अब ये देश हुआ बेगाना। चल उड़ जा रे पंछी।
इतना तो करना स्वामी, जब प्राण तन से निकले। इतना तो करना स्वामी, जब प्राण तन से निकले। गोविंद नाम लेकर तब प्राण तन से निकले। गोविंद नाम लेकर तब प्राण तन से निकले। श्री गंगा जी का तट हो, जमुना का वंशी वट हो। श्री गंगा जी का तट हो, जमुना का वंशी वट हो। मेरा सांवरा निकट हो, जब प्राण तन से निकले। गोविंद नाम लेकर तब प्राण तन से निकले। पीतांबरी कसी हो, छवि मन में ये बसी हो। पीतांबरी कसी हो, छवि मन में ये बसी हो, होठों पे कुछ हंसी हो, जब प्राण तन से निकले, गोविंद नाम लेकर, तब प्राण तन से निकले, जब कंठ प्राण आए, कोई रोग ना सताए, जब कंठ प्राण आए, कोई रोग ना सताए, यम दरस ना दिखाए, जब प्राण तन से निकले, गोविंद नाम लेकर, तब प्राण तन से निकले। उस वक्त जल्दी आना, नहीं शाम भूल जाना, उस वक्त जल्दी आना, नहीं शाम भूल जाना, राधे को साथ लाना, जब प्राण तन से निकले, गोविंद नाम लेकर, तब प्राण तन से निकले। एक भक्त की है अर्जी, खुद गर्ज की,
Give me one of those now.
एक भक्त की है अर्जी,
Give me one of those.
खुद गर्ज की है गर्जी, आगे तुम्हारी मर्जी, जब प्राण तन से निकले, इतना तो करना स्वामी, जब प्राण तन से निकले, गोविंद नाम लेकर, तब प्राण तन से निकले। आइए अंत में हम सब मिलकर ईश्वर का गुणगान करें। गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय,
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 गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय।
Sip again, Om Narayanaaya Namaha. Wash hands again, Om Govindaya Namaha. Om Pavitresto Vaishnavyav Saviturvaha Prasava Utpunam Yachidrena Pavitrena Surajasya Rashmabhitasya Te Pavitrapate Pavitra. Next one. Pavitraputasya Jatakamaha Punetachake Yamma. Om Tilakam Cha Mahatpunyam Pavitram Papanashanam Apadaharate Nityam Lalate Harichandanam. Vashan, you done Vashan already, right? Om Kusham, put your two hands like that. Om Kushamule Stito Brahma Kushamadhe Janardanaha Kushagare Shankaro Devastena Nashyantu Patakam. Om Telakam Cha Mahatapunyam Pavitram Papanashanam Apadaharate Nityam Lalate Harichandanam. Next person. Wash hands. Om Hasta Prakshalanam Samarpayami. Sip the water. Om Raghavaya Namaha. Om Keshavaya Namaha. Om Narayanaya Namaha. Wash hands again. Om Govindaya Namaha. Om Kushamule Stito Brahma Kushamadhye Janardanaha Kushagare Shankaro Deva Sthena Nashyantu Patakam. Om Tilakam Cha Mahat Punyam Pavitram Papanashanam Apadaharate Nityam Lalate Harichandanam. Vashan. Om Hasta Prakshalanam Samarpayami. Sip the water. Om Raghavaya Namaha. Om Keshavaya Namaha. Sip again. Om Keshavaya Namaha. Sip again. Om Narayanaya Namaha. Wash hands again. Om Govindaya Namaha. Om Kushamule Stito Brahma Kushamadhye Janardanaha Kushagare Shankaro Deva Sthena Nashyantu Patakam. Om Tilakam Cha Mahata Punyam Pavitram Papanashanam Apadaharate Nityam Lalate Harichandanam. Next person. Vashan. Om Hasta Prakshalanam Samarpayami. Sip the water. Om Raghavaya Namaha. Om Keshavaya Namaha. Om Narayanaya Namaha. Wash hands again. Om Govindaya Namaha. Om Pavitresto Vaishnavyau Saviturvaha Prasava Utpunam Yachidrena Pavitrena Surajasya Rashmabhitasya Te Pavitrapate. Just now. Don't go yet. Om Tilakam Cha Mahata Punyam Pavitram Papanashanam Apadaharate Nityam Lalate Harichandanam. Alright. I'll go take one flower, preferably white. I'll go stand up in a line right here, facing the south. Right. South. Om Hari Om Tat Sat Pritatma Shanti Ram Nam Satya Hai. So at this time, as we are about to begin the final rites dedicated to the soul of Mr. Roopchand Sooklal, I invite everyone to stand for a few moments as we join in the unified prayer to the Supreme Lord of the Universe with that single purpose in mind. Of course, all that we will be performing from here onward until the 1-year Bandara is dedicated to seeking to return that soul, if possible, into oneness with the Supreme Lord of the Universe, to merge that Atma or that soul with Paramatma or the Supreme Soul. And that is the underlying and ultimate purpose of all the activities in the form of the rituals that we will be performing. So with that view in mind, we turn to that Lord of the Universe, meditate upon Vishnu Bhagwan, Om Vishnu in your mind, as we begin with a few mantras of purification and praise to that Supreme Lord, seeking His mercy and compassion on that soul. Hari Om. Apavitra pavitro va sarvavastham gatopi vayah smareta pundarikaksham sabahya abhyantarah shuchihi. Om Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutah Stunavant Divyaistavair Vedai Sangha Parakramopanishadair Gayanti Yam Samaga Dhyanavastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogino Yasyantam Navidu Surasura Devaya Tasmai Namaha. Tvamari Deva Purusha Puranas Tvamasya Vishwasya Param Nidhanam Vetasi Vedyam Cha Param Cha Dhama Tvayatatam Vishwamanantarupa Vayuryam Ognir Varuna Shashanka Prajapatistvam Prapitamahascha Namo Namastestu Sahasra Kritva Punascha Bhuyopi Namo Namaste. We speak to that Paramatma, the one who is without beginning and end, the one who is the ocean of mercy and compassion, the one in whose hands we seek to offer that soul that has departed the body, seeking that attainment in the form of the ultimate goal, Preta Moksha, Paradobhava. May that Atma, may that departed soul, if at all possible, find oneness with you, which is the freedom from all connections to the material world and all the negativities attached thereof. Om Manadi Nidhano Deva Shankha Chakra Gadadhara Akshaya Pundari Kaksha Prita Moksha Pradobhava Om Hiranya Garbha Purushaha Vyakta Vyakta Swarupinaha Asya Pritasya Mokshartam Suprito Bhava Sarvada. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Pritatma Shanti. Ram Nam Satya Hai. Please take your seats. Offer your flowers there. Right, take back the spot right here. So, before we begin any ritual, we always take what is called a sankalp. The sankalp is the resolve or the promise to complete the ritual from beginning to end. This ritual that we are referring to is called the Antheshti Sanskaar. For the departed person, it is the final rite in the life of any Hindu. It is equal in measure to the other samskar, such as the marriage, such as the naming ceremony, such as the first tasting of food, the first haircut. All of these are considered as the important junctions in the life of a Hindu. And the final one is the Antheshti Sanskaar. And that, of course, is done by the descendants who are left behind. Usually the responsibility falls onto the hands, firstly, of the eldest son following that person, any other son in the line following the unavailability, etc., and then any other sons, grandsons, etc. These are the persons responsible for the performance of this rite on behalf of the departed person. When we speak of the Antheshti Sanskaar, we are not only referring to the part of the ritual that is being done today. This is the minimal part. This is more for our farewell and our letting out of our emotions, etc. This is consecrating the body back to the earth, to the elements of the earth through the medium of the fire. That is the part that is being done today. But the entire Antheshti Sanskaar refers to all the rites beginning today and going straight on until the 1-year Bandara. So that includes what is done today, together with all the turpan, the pindas, the lights, the giving of dan, etc. that is done, the rituals, the dasgat or the shaving ceremony, the 10 days pindas leading up, the first Bandara, the monthly pindas, 16 of which are offered during the course of the year, culminating in the 1-year Bandara. So when you make that promise for the Antheshti Sanskaar, it's the promise to fulfill all of those rituals, right? So this is what we take in Sankalp for. The Sankalp is taken with the date, time, location, identification of self and the person, etc. So the date and time is according to the Hindu calendar. I will take that part on your behalf. While I'm doing that, the Sankalp is also dedicated to Lord Vishnu, who is Yagyapati, or the keeper, the receiver of the rituals and the keeper of the record. So Om Vishnu in your mind, while I take the Hindu calendar date and time on your behalf. Om Hari Om Tat Sat, Hari Om Tat Sat, Hari Om Tat Sat, Vishnur Adya Sri Brahmanohni Dvitiye Parardhe Shri Shvetavaraha Kalpe Vaivasvat Manvantare Ashtavimshatitame Kaliyuge Kalipatam Charane Punyakshetre Baudavatare Vartamane Trinidad Deshe Guaico Tamana Road Guaico Grame Shri Kalayukta Samvatsare Dakshinayane Bhado Mase Krishna Pakshe Ashtami Tithau Shri Somavasare Singh Rashi Sthite Surya Vrishab Rashi Sthite Shashankecha Sheshu Graheshu Yata Yata Rashi Stansiteshu Satsu. Take now your name in your mind. Amukha Gotraha Amukha Gotrasya Amukha, and take the name of the departed person. Amukha Pretasya And if you could repeat this part after me, because this is the naming of the entire samskar that you're going to do. You could say Antheshti Karam Aham Karishye. Right, touch it to your forehead and place it down right near to the head there and say Sri Krishna Arpan. So you could just take this lota of water that you have in your there. Sprinkle a few times on the body as we seek to purify that body, removing all negativities, etc. Om Kashyap Gotrasya, take your father name with each offering, right? Om Kashyap Gotrasya, Roopchand Sooklal Pretasya, Mritastani Shavanimitam, Snanam Maya Diyate Tava Upatishtatam. Take the chandan and then the perfume. Om Kashyap Gotrasya. So you could come here and you're going downward, right? And then you could touch by the ears below and only two hands. Using this finger, right? Om Kashyap Gotrasya, Roopchand Sooklal Pretasya, Mritastane Shavanimitam, Chandanam Maya Diyate, Tava Upatishtatam. Just give him the paper towel. Here. Could wipe all the chandan from your hand. Alright. Om Kashyap Gotrasya, Roopchand Sooklal Pretasya, Mritastane Shavanimitam, Gandham Maya Diyate, Tava Upatishtatam. And take the malas now, one after the next, and place them. If they didn't burst or they burst already. Om Kashyap Gotrasya, Roopchand Sooklal Pretasya, Mritastane Shavanimitam, Pushpamala Maya Diyate, Tava Upatishtatam. Om Kashyap Gotrasya, Roopchand Sooklal Pretasya, Mritastane Shavanimitam, Pushpamala Maya Diyate, Tava Upatishtatam. That's it. Alright. Take the light now, so you're keeping the body on your right and you're going around from here. Walking in a clockwise direction. And as you're passing by the feet, you go touch your forehead. Touch your forehead and complete the circle, and you're doing that 5 times. And the light is dedicated to removing, you could go ahead. Om Yam Dware Mahagore Andena Tavasavrite Tatravalokanarthaya Deepo Yam Upatishtatam. Om Kashyap Gotrasya, Roopchand Sooklal Pretasya, Mritastane Shavanimitam, Deepam Maya Diyate Tava Upatishtatam. The light is dedicated to removing, we consider it out. You could just light it back. If you can't make it, you could probably use a piece of camphor instead. Om Yam Dware Mahagore Andena Tamasavrite Tatravalokanarthaya Deepo Yam Upatishtatam. Om Anadina Dano Deva Shankha Chakra Gadadhara Akshaya Pundari Kaksha Preta Moksha Pradobhava. Om Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. The light is dedicated to Yamraj, the Lord of Justice, as there is a possibility that depending on the karmas that we have departed with, the soul may be taking that journey through Yamlok. Well, all souls have to go to Yamraj, but there are different pathways that the soul might take based on the karmas that we have departed the world with. And the one who has to travel through the southern pathway, or the pathway heading towards the southern gate of Yamraj, that is described as the journey of the soul that carrying some sins. And of course we have, it is not within us to determine the weight of anyone's sins that they have departed with. So we perform the ritual in case the soul, you make 5. We perform this, we offer the rituals, including the light, which is for the purpose of removing the darkness and the difficulties, the evils and so on, which may be along that pathway, because that pathway towards the southern gate is described as a dark and terrible place and frightful place, or a frightful journey in that way. Take the first pinda. The first pinda is dedicated, or it signifies the end of this life. It is considered as an offering to all of the deities or the divinities who the person has dedicated their life to, and it sends that hold it for a moment. Om Kashyap Gotrasya Roopchand Sooklal Pretasya Mritastani Shavanamitam Ekate Pindo Maya Diyate Tava Upatishtatam. Right, and then take the water in the when you put it in the right hand, don't let it break, right? Try to let the hand just grip it. And then you will take a little water in the palm of your hand. Alright. Take the terraria with the dolls there. So the first pinda was dedicated to those divinities, sending the message to them that this life has now been concluded, and no offering, no rituals, no puja, etc. To be expected from this person. So there is closure to all those aspects, whatever vrat, etc. that the person may have been upholding during the course of their life. All of those must come to a close now, and no more puja or prayers or rituals of any kind are to be expected. And so the death also happened to be during the time of Panchak, which is considered inauspicious, although the cremation is taking place outside of that period, but so it is not really, it is considered to be of no effect really, but we make the offerings due to the death being in Panchak, just to be safe in that way. I'll come back and stand up right here. Just sprinkle a little water on them. Sorry. All right. You could just face this out there, David. Om Kashyap Gotrasya Roopchand Sooklal Pretasya Dhanishtadi Panchaka Janya Durmadanadi Vamsharishta Nivaranartam Panchaka Vidhanam Karishye Om Bho Pretava Hadayah Panchaka Panchakadhishta Tara Iha Agachantu. Just touch it to your forehead and touch it near there. Krishna Arpan. Take one in your hand, put a little black till on it. You will take that from here. Om. Om Vaso Pavitramasi Shatadharam Vasoho Patrimasi Sahasradharam Devastva Savita Punatu Vasoho Pavitrena Shatadharena Suptva Kama Dukshaha Om Vasubhya Namaha Om Pretavahaya Namaha. Touch it to your forehead, take the first one and just place it somewhere right over the head here, where it wouldn't fall out, right? Then take a second one, put a little bit of black till on it again. These are, of course, dedicated to the presiding deities of those 5 inauspicious constellations. Om Varunasya Tambanamasi Varunasya Skambasarjanisto Varunasya Ritasadanamasi Varunasya Ritasadanamasi Varunasya Ritasadanamasida. Om Varunaya Namaha Om Preta Sakhaya Namaha. Take the second one, put it between the arm and the body, right there. The right arm. Take the third one. Om Uttanno Hirbudhnyaha Sruno Twaja Ekapat Prithvi Samudraha Vishwe Deva Ritavridho Huvana Stuta Mantraha Kavishasta Avantu. Om Ajay Kapadaya Namaha Om Pretapaya Namaha. Between the left arm and the body. Take the next one. Om Shivo Namasi Swadhitiste Pita Namaste Astu Mamahi Gumsihi Nivartayam Yayuke Nadhyaya Prajananaya Rayasposhaya Suprajastwaya Suvidyaya. Om Ahir Budhnyaya Namaha Om Preta Bhumi Paya Namaha. Touch it there forward and put it over the navel. Take the final one. Om Pushantava Vrate Vayanarishye Ma Ekadachana Stotarasta Ihasmasi. Om Pushne Namaha Om Pretahartre Namaha. Touch it there forward. You put it between the 2 feet or the 2 legs in between. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat. Pretatma Shanti. So Pura Mala was for just extra. Oh, you have somebody to put that on. Just extra. Alright. So we have among us 2 of the most senior Pandits around in the area, Pandit Bhavnath Ji and Pandit Bimal. So at this time I would like to give them an opportunity to say something, whatever they wish. So look at decide who comes in first. And of course Pandit Bimal is the son-in-law of the departed.
Thank you, Baba Sanjeev. Very important Sanskaar. It is written in Manusmriti, the book that gives us the laws that governs this life, this self, this living. Thank you, Beta. That there are many rites of purifications that are to be performed from the time of conception or even pre-conception. Wanting to bring a kid into the world, you have to pray. Pray to Bhagavan Vishnu, as he prayed today to Bhagavan Vishnu to relieve the soul. Parents would have prayed to Bhagavan Vishnu. I would not go through all of these rituals of the sanskars, but I will tell you something. I just will go straight to the point that the individual you see lying here today we are losing or lost an institution. That's not a mistake, not a coincidence. His parents would have prayed to bring this child into the world. You know that? हम तो है संतान तिहारी, प्रभु संतान तिहारी, तेरी दया पर हम अधिकारी, प्रभु है हम अधिकारी, दुनिया होवे सुखी हमारी, ऐसा दे वरदान. You know what they prayed for? I married into this family for 40 years. I do not know how many of you know that Dad was a good Hindi scholar. But in Bhavnath, he would sit and he would read Ramayana and he would read, he had Prem Sagar, that the glories of Krishna, love stories of Krishna Bhagavan. He used to read that all the time. He used to sing bhajans. He got all of that from his father, who also was a bhajanavali and a person who would read Ramayana. So not a mistake or coincidence. For those of you who were touched by the life of Dad, great. For those who weren't that fortunate, it's a loss. I call it a loss. It's a great, noble soul. I can say so many things, but children will say a lot more. They lived with him from the time they were born. But in my time, I'm associated with the family for a long, long time, even before I was married. I had the good fortune of doing his father's funeral. That's a long time ago. Maybe I was 2-3 years old, I don't know. On behalf of Shastri, his daughter, my wife, myself, my 3 children, and their respective spouses, Anuradhaji, eldest daughter, Avinash, my son-in-law, and my 3 grandchildren. Vishala and Anand and Arun and Nevi. That's our family. That's the blood of not only my side, but the blood of my father-in-law and mother-in-law flows in all of them, all those names that I have called. I would just like to say today, Dad, thank you. You're a great soldier. I told my dear brother Pandit Bhavnath, he was a great soldier. He held the flame, the torch, the banner of Sanatan Dharam very high up to his passing. Held it very high. And he tried his best to hand over that torch and flame to his children, as we see them all around us today. Take it very proudly to the next generation. Dad, we love you very much. He used to ask for chocolate all the time. Make sure I bring a chocolate for you. I took him to India in 2015. His grandchildren asked, Nana, what are you going to bring for me? See, I'm going to bring some Kashmir. So I have a little bottle of Kashmir rub in his pocket all the time. So he tell me, he say, hey Bim, you mean I reached to Kashmir and I can't get this rub? I said, Dad, it named Kashmir, but it's made in Antheshti somewhere. You know, he was a fun guy. He was a fun guy, but he was a very upright individual. I would not go through the story that I keep reiterating all the time. He was a tailor, he was a taxi driver, he was a gardener, he was, how much things this fellow used to do, you know? And still find the time to do puja, go in his mandir. One day I jokingly said to him, I said, Dad, pretty soon Hanuman Baba will get fed up with you, you know. You picking a whole basket of flowers, singing and all kind of thing and staying in your... One last thing before I go. I love Dad that much, you know. I used to look at him quietly. Do you know, every incense box he opened, he never threw it away. You know what he used to do? He was so innovative. He used to cut out the Saraswati or the Lakshmi or the Shiva or whatever was in there, and he used to make bookmarks and give it to the children. He used to make a bookmark. He said, put that in your book. You know? Dad, as I said, we love you. You did well, and you still look very well. You look very well today. You look the same as you did then, coming to now. Hari Om Anadhin Thanureva Shankar Chakra Galadhara अक्षय पुंडरीकाक्षं प्रीतमुक्ष प्रदुभव जातस्य हि ध्रुव मृत्यु ध्रुवं जन्म मृतस्य च तस्मात् परिपाय त्वं न त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि राम नाम सत्य है। ओ पंडित भवनाथ जी।
प्रेम से बोलिए श्री राम नाम सत्य है, सब ही हो कथा है। Officiating Pandit Sanjeev, your brother in Dharma, Pandit Bimal, members of the Buri family, yes, sympathizers, we all assembled here this morning, bidding farewell to a most noble individual who has passed away into transition. We live on this planet Earth. In Hindi is called Mrityu Lok. The word Mrityu means death and Lok means planet. Once you come here, you only have one short thing in life, you have to die one day. It has nothing else sure, but that is sure. However, Krishna Bhagavan gives us consolation. We do identify with the body, but with the Atma or the soul. The soul cannot die, it cannot be burned by fire, drenched by water, or cut by weapons. It is therefore immortal. The body doesn't die either. You will notice in any Hindu funeral, Baba will instruct by the gateway down there, the body will be placed on the ground, a ritual will be performed called a manzil. And 5 of these will be done, 1 here and for the cremation side. Every time this ritual is done, you ask that the elements be released into its natural state. Fire go back to fire, water to water, air to air, etc. So the great philosophers say, what we call death is not death, it's a transition period where the soul moves from one state to another. So why fear death? It is going to happen. The important thing is preparing for it whilst we are here. And it's a simple thing how to prepare for it. Bhagavan blesses us with his highest body in God's creation of 8,400,000 species of life, divided into 4 main categories called Andaj, Ukmaj, Pindaj, and Astravar. You have lives that are born from wombs, mammals. We are the highest. Lives that come from eggs, lives that are sweat-born, microscopic and otherwise, and the plant kingdom. The highest is the human. Bare bhagya manusha tanupava. And what are we supposed to do with it here? 2 things. Per upakara. Just serve the Lord and his creation with a guileless heart. Simply meaning, do good as much as you could, while you could, when you could, as long as you could. Don't sit down and wait for good to come to you to do it. Get up and look for avenues to do good, because you can only do that when God bless you with health and strength. They did that start to fail, you can't do it again. I have had the blessed privilege of knowing the late Mr. Roopchand Sooklal and his Dharam Patni, who has passed away also, the late Mrs. Bhagmati Sooklal. 2 wonderful people to really have known, as Pandit Bimal has said. I knew them a long while, since she used to run the store after the police station up there. I was still going to school, right, I should tell you. And it's one way I know him and know her. You never see them vexed, you never see them angry, simple, humble, down-to-earth, always a smile on the face. Now they really come from a family, if you study their heritage here, a family or a lineage of simplicity and humility. But yet hold for their dharmas, Bob said just now. He was associated, both of them, with the Sanskaar temple. I remember Shashiya mom, she's a beauty women's group, come and peel and alu talkari whilst they were held. He will always there in attendance and all issue. But he catch me one day, because I'll tell you why. I always know him with black hair. And suddenly, I seen this person gray-headed. I said, but like, I know this fella, but me no way. You know, it's very smile. Then I catch him with this, you know. Because I always know him with his black hair. But apparently, like he said, he's some dying. So I say, well, he real good, look how old and the man here still black. So the devotees, we will be in this situation one day. This one sure thing. It has no if and but about that. And whilst God bless us with good health, strength, talent, skills, whatever, do good, serve the Lord and his community. We are only humans, we are prone to making mistakes, we can go wrong, but keep on the good path. And the place that helps you is places of satsang, which they were always involved in. Okay? So we want to ask Bhagavan, what is important at this time is prayer. Let us beg the blessings of Bhagavan Krishna, who is called Aryama Pitra, the Lord of all the Pitras who have gone by. His direct words come from Srimad Bhagavad Gita. probably which Pandit will explain in a short while. But let us put our hands together and beg the mercy of this Lord upon this Atma, our soul. Hari Om. Gita Ganga Chagayatri Sita Satya Saraswati Brahm Vidya Brahmavari Tri Sindhya Mukti Gehini Ardhamatra Chidananda Bhaudhvani Bhainashani Veda Triparayanan Tatvarta Jnana Manjari Prem se boliye Shri Ram Naam Satya Hai Sabhi Ho Ghata Hai. God bless.
Thanks very much. So at this time we want to open for those who have eulogy.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you,
Yes, thank you. Gracias.
Sitaram, to one and all. We are so happy that you all could come at this stage, at this time. So we, the children of God, we have a little program, nothing big. So the next part of this is I am going to call on his grandchildren to say the eulogy. My daughter Nalini and Deva and Deva arranged it. Marlon.
It's an honor to stand before you today and to share some precious memories and history of our grandfather. Firstly, as Dad said, on behalf of the family, we thank each and every one of you for being with us here today and over the last few nights to celebrate the life of a remarkable man. A man who has left his imprint on many, and he has made a positive impact that will survive generations to come. The man known as Roopchand Sooklal. Nana, as he was fondly called by his loving grandchildren, was born on January 12, 1931 to Sooklal Sukhdev, Grande, Sibram, and spent his early years in Clomita with his 5 older brothers and 2 younger sisters, one of which is here today with us, before moving to Marriage Hill in coal mine Sangre, Grande. He married my grandmother Bagmati, the late Bagmati Sooklal, our beloved Nanny, at the tender age of 23 years old, when Nanny was just 17 years old at the time. Together, they celebrated an astounding 69 years of marriage last year before she passed, a milestone that we can only hope to achieve one day as grandchildren. Together, they had 8 children, 19 grandchildren, and 11 great-grandchildren as today. And they shared a long, successful marriage full of good times and tough times, but more importantly, full of a lot of love, banter, humor, and a commitment to their family, their community, their religious pursuits. He truly loved our Nanny, calling her many different names, but his most famous one is his mama, and he would not want to spend a minute without her, and we are sure today that they are reunited. He loved to tease her and harass her, and she would always jokingly respond, "Look, Nana, leave me alone." He was loved by his friends and the members of our community who valued his extensive wisdom and his companionship. Nana worked hard throughout most of his life to support his wonderful family, and he was the epitome of multitasking. For many years, he rode a bicycle to surrounding areas like Plumita and Bish, Manzanilla, Fishing Pond, basically wherever his job at the regional corporation sent him to work. And oftentimes that meant leaving home at 4 a.m. every single morning. He worked at the corporation for an admirable number of years until he was 63 years old, first as a laborer and then as a road overseer in those days. In addition to his day job, as we called it, as my uncle said, he had many additional jobs to make ends meet in those times. His priority was always ensuring the needs of his family were taken care of. Some of his many pursuits included planting and cultivating rice in coal mine, rearing chickens to sell the eggs, even cultivating cocoa at some point in time. He was a known tailor, known for his precision and his quality. He could sew everything from basic clothes to a 3-piece suit, that was Nana. At some point, as Uncle said, he had a taxi. The point being that no job was ever too much when it came to providing for his family. Our Nana had a truly admirable work ethic, and always with the support of Nani by his side. He was an avid agriculturist. He was known to spend hours in the land, as we say. He will not leave a breadfruit on the tree, no matter how high it was. He always found a way to get it. And many of us will remember growing up, he always had something to give you, a hand of fig, some planting, something to give us on the weekends. And he experimented with advanced techniques, as grafting, and he always had some new variety of plant to show off as well. Nani and Nana were stalwarts in the business community, starting their first small business in 1969, the Moon Landing Cafe on the Sangre Grande main road. And this was the foundation upon which our family was built. In later years, they opened and successfully operated a variety store and agricultural shop at their home at 16 Eastern Main Road, Sangre Grande, for many years until their retirement. And this home was the foundation of a lot of our memories as grandchildren. It was where we grew up and where we had a lot of our celebrations. Nana was known, and he was especially treasured by his grandchildren for his humor, his easygoing personality, and his creativity. He was always composing a song, showing us a new dance move, playing a tune on his harmonica, or delighting us with origami paper animals. We don't know where he learned to make them, and we tried to learn, but some of us weren't successful. He participated in carnival celebrations even in his early years, designing and sewing some of the sailor costumes that were used back then. He was an avid Bollywood film and music lover, and his later years he ensured he never missed an episode of his Indian soap operas. In fact, he would watch the same episode not once but twice daily, much to my nanny's annoyance because she never watched TV. He was simultaneously, as Pandit Bhavanath shared, a devout Hindu, and he ensured that his grandchildren, all of us, knew and appreciated the tenets and the values of Hinduism. Interestingly, as Uncle Bim shared, he also taught himself Hindi. He read many religious texts after he retired as well, and he was a foundation member of the Santnagar Hindu temple and spent years developing Hindu culture not only in the Sangre Grande area, but in Varans as well. He shared a special relationship with and in service to God, and we distinctly remember fondly the hours he would spend in his famous puja room in devotion while we were growing up. The Nani would say, "He's still in there?" "Yes, Nani." Our grandfather taught us many things as young children that hold us in good stead today. Good manners, respect, and sound moral values. His example of serving his God, his family, loving his wife unconditionally, being a visionary, how he handled challenges. These are the values that have made all of us who we are today, and for this we are eternally grateful as we now pass these to our children. Our lasting memories of Nana are simple. A hard-working, passionate figure of strength who never waned in support or love of his family, and who soldiered on with an indomitable spirit even when the times were tough. I stand here with great pride and privilege on behalf of my cousins to deliver this eulogy, not only to express the sadness that we all share today over his loss, but Nana gave us 93 years of his life, and what an amazing life. We thank you for everything that you've given to us, the joy and the good times that you shared during your precious time on earth. And we know that you will rest in eternal peace with Nani, knowing that both of your legacies will live on in us forever. I thank you. Sit down. Yeah.
Sekarang everyone, I am Ivan from the Kevin. Oh, thanks. Yeah. Dave and some of y'all know me as Kevin, you know, I'm the eldest grandchild to Nana and Nani, right? You know, also the most good looking, you know, you know. I took it by Nana, right? Nana was always like, you know, the funny thing about Nana, he always say, I'm a good looking fella. I'm a good looking fella. He always say that, you know. You know, this little thing I put together is called Thoughts and Memories from the Grandkids, right? And you know, I kind of asked them to just share with me little things that I remember, you know, and I put some of them together, you know, right? My earliest memory on Nana, guys, is visiting us on Bradley Street. You know, we grew up on Bradley Street in a humble home. In fact, it was one of his homes that he gave us until we built our own home, you know, and I remember him visiting at a very early age, and before he even come inside, he'll visit all the plants, you know, he'll make sure mommy water the plants, taking care of the plants and whatever. You know, giving us enough time to go and tell mommy and daddy Nana reach, you know, right? You know, sometimes even bring a hand of fig as Nelly was saying, and I used to get vexed sometimes because I know once a green fig put down their soup and I didn't like soup back then, you know, right? Today, you know, it's things I appreciate now, you know, but back then, you know, as I say, he really always has something to give, you know, right? I even remember him taking me to coal mine in his land one day at a very tender age. I think I was standard 3 or 2 or something, you know. And again, I was vexed because sesame shit going on. I had to go in the land with this guy, taking out his crook stick, his swiper, you know. We spent hours in the land, you know, and I get mosquito bite, and I was like, why he had to carry me here, you know? You know, and it's funny, but today, I love going to the land, I love going and picking fruits, you know, and it's some of my earliest memory and Nana, you know, maybe you're trying to cultivate me to do these things on it, but you know, when you're a child, you ain't thinking all those things, you know, right? Right? All these different things we used to pick, you know, right? When I think back to all these things, guys, all the things that I saw Nana like, you know, he had a real strong appetite, you know. Knowing Nana, he could never really, he could put on a plate of food and more, and the more you give him, the more he eats, it's like a bottomless pit, you know, right? And it's crazy. As Nelly said, Nana had a wicked side. You know, my fondest memories is Nana. I mean, I never had a dull moment around him, you know. He always have us laughing, he always have us, you know, he always doing us wickedness, whether he take a sweetie paper and he push it in your pants, or he always pantsing us, you know, or harassing us, or saying some kind of crazy thing, you know. So we always had dull moments around Nana until Nana started to say, leave the children alone now, leave the children alone, you know. Right? Right? I remember in the home recently, he looked at me and he asked me how much kids I have, right? And I said, I have one child. He said, boy, by the time I was your age, I don't have 7 children. What are you waiting for, you know? Right? And he always have something to say, you know? I remember he asking Gerard, my son, he said, how much girlfriend you have? And Gerard is 11 years old, and Gerard said, I don't have any girlfriend. He said, boy, when I was your age, I had one on this side, one on that side, one behind me. And I remember Gerard saying, Nanny know that? And he said, right before Nanny time, boy. Right? So he always had some, you know, he's just fun to be around, you know. So thoughts on some of the grandkids, and I have Roopchand Sooklal, and this is what she said. She said Nana definitely had a green thumb. He always put God first. I remember him spending hours worshiping in the puja room, as I said. He always had a good sense of humor, always harassing Nanny. He always seemed to be happiest when he around us. He used to call me a Shraya, right? He called him a Shraya, right? He used to pick up us many evenings in primary school loading all his grandchildren in that little car, right? And he never missed a moment of it, right? That's Aruna, right? I remember Nelly telling me this. He said he has the best sense of humor. He always sees the best in every situation, and he had an immense creativity with music, dance, and craft. You know, and Nana said shake his head for the years ago. He have a way. I can't even do it. Dancing his head back, forth, all over, you know, right? Crazy, right? I remember from Marlon's wedding, the Maticru night. That was just last year. 6 years ago. 6 years ago. What's it last year? My goodness, 6 years ago. He didn't break his hip yet, right? No. Nana put on a dance. I never saw my grandfather dance like that. I was like, I couldn't believe it, right? I couldn't even do that, right? Right? Nadine, he always has his cashmere in his pocket to smell. He would eat anything we give him and he never refused, right? I would always find these little sweetie papers at the edges of the couch when I'm cleaning, where he would choke, right? I also remember after he washed his hands, he'd pass and rub it on our faces and make us vex. And I always walk out with a wicked laugh. And Nadine also said, you know, he used to recite a poem to me that today I hold there in my heart. And I didn't tell Nadine I'm going to read the poem. Nadine, Oh, she said. I didn't tell Nadine I'm going to read the poem, but it's called Chance. Right? Now, Nadine said she'd Google this poem. She couldn't find it. She don't know if Nana made it up. She don't know where he got this poem from, but she has it there. And the poem reads this. Chance makes many people wealthy. Chance makes many people poor. And there are others in the world of which we cannot be sure. Fame is but a passing glory. Time will treat us just the same. So just keep jogging on and do your best with all your might and your will. Life again, just the same. So play off far all your wood. Lend a hand. Understand there are others on this earth. Do it square, play it fair. Just try helping all you can. And when all is done and you know that you have won, why then can't you call yourself a man? Okay, I do a typo this, sorry. Right? Right? Yeah, can't you call yourself? You don't probably tell where he got that from, right? But beautiful poem. In school?
No, it was a song.
Oh, it was a song.
But he wrote it.
Who wrote it? Dana?
Daddy.
Oh, that is so cool. So we had to get these. I had to hear that song. Look at that. I learned stuff about him. I even know, you know. Arun. Nana always taught me countless life lessons. If I had to choose the main ones, it's his will to succeed or the most. He never complained about the countless jobs he had throughout his life. Whenever I asked him how he did it, he said simply because I had to make sure the family is taken care of. He always found a means to make sure his family was in the best possible situation to succeed. And we are life testaments of his hard work. Sarah Sooklal, right? She's in Colorado right now, right? Uncle Robin's Auntie Naga's daughter. Hey cousin, I always remember Nana teaching me to make these paper cranes. The one you pull the tail and the wings flap. I remember throughout my whole childhood I'd make these things and show my friends and teachers, and they thought I was the coolest kid. And I always think of him each time I made it. Even now, with Ava, she loves them when I make it for her. I'll never forget to make them, and will always remind me of him. Right? Vishala Maharaj. My favorite moment with Nana was when he shared with me the first time he met Nani. He rode on his blue bicycle to go see her. He had doubts because he was so young and he didn't have things in place for a wife. That's what he told her. He went and saw her and right back and kept thinking she was so beautiful and she seemed like a nice girl. And when his brother asked him his thoughts, he told him, I think it might be better to have a good partner to help me now than to put things in place and then wait for the partner to come. And deep down he felt as if Nani would be the right partner for him. Looking at their marriage, it taught me how important it is to have a good supportive partner that you have shared goals with. Vijay Sooklal. Hey Dave, Nana, as how they text my reading it, right? They didn't take out any words, right? Vijay lived with Nana for many years, right? He said Nana's most instinctive memories from me is how he used to start every day in the morning picking flowers. Often there picking and watering his flowers. Often there to every picture in his puja room on the journey, watering all his plants and then proceeding to the puja room for 2-3 hours. Another memory, he used to tell stories of long ago how he grew up in coal mine. And also when he would bring dry coconut from the land, he'd sit for hours, grating it on a galvanized grater that he made to make coconut oil for all his sharing. He used to also bring cocoa to dry and make chocolate to grate for cocoa tea. Nana never sustained in one place too long. He always fixing something or doing something to pass his time. He watched all these Indian soaps on ZTV, as Nelly said, all these religious broadcasts on Rich Jagati, and read a book, or even listen to the radio. He always harassed Nani. He taught us valuable lessons, and the most important is how to love and support his family. Right? And Anu know message me hers, Anu was late and had her message, right? He said, I'll always remember Nana for his continuous taunting of his Marup. Also, I'm thankful for the moments and memories that Nana, aka Old Nana, that's what I think her kids call Nana, right? Old Nana, right? Created for Niranjan, and they had a lasting impact on me for playing games, planting pimento seeds and watering the plants. Right? In conclusion, guys, you know, we could go on forever and over all the lessons this incredible guy taught us. But hard work and sacrifice pays us. He always put God first, and he always enjoyed life to the fullest. We love our Nana, and he would forever hold a dear place in our hearts, and his legacy will continue to live in all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Devan. Thank you, Nalini. So I think at this stage, a lot was said about Nana. We got a side of him that we knew. We got the perspective from the grandchildren. you know. And on behalf of us, the boys and sisters, you know, we will dearly miss him, you know. Last night I was contemplating, you know, I said, born in Plumita in 1931. Throw back your memory to then. No paved roads, no water, no lights, no radio, none of what we take for granted. Him and his brothers survived, ancestors survived then. Being very close, I think indentureship came to an end in 1917, and therefore 1931 is just about 10-15 years thereafter. So they were the children of our indented forefathers, you know. And that some of the things, I mean, we need to, you know, bear in mind, and I always tell the younger ones, you know, we need to know our history and where these fellas came from. In terms of education and schooling, Standard 5, I think, would have been the highest that they would have gone. But if we think about education in terms of that kind of academia, the knowledge and the common sense that these fellas had, and I keep saying these fellas, him and his brothers, is wonderful. They've taught us so much, you know. And in those days, I mean, they were the World War and we were in colonial time. There was a depression then, I mean, if we do the history. And they came out of it, right? His parents had the mindset, save money, buy up a piece of land in Marriage Hill, that's what the boys referred to, come out of it. They were teenagers, some of them. Dad was about that teenager when they came, you know, and they had to find careers and they had to find things to do. But like we say, because of their upbringing and the culture, and they were famous for having green thumb, so they grew, and this is 93 years, and this is not, I mean, many of us wouldn't know those times. So always in chatting with him, he would appreciate the little things in life. So yes, that has taught us so many things. It's too much to say. At this time, I want to ask, oh, forgive me, I saw Uncle Freddie Pierre a little bit ago, I don't know if he's here. Oh, yeah. To come up and say a few words, and then we'll have Navin, the president of the temple, and we'll take it from there.
Thank you, Jits. Sitaram, good morning to all gathered here today. Today we are here to say final farewell of the physical body to Mr. Roopchand Sooklal. He was a guy who always very humorous. You never saw him angry or anything. I remember distinctly a couple, it was almost a year when Nanny was not well and we went to see her. So my wife and I went, and he said, "But girl, you're still good looking. And you're singing in the temple, you have a nice voice." And I said, and they said, you know, as soon as he walked in, he remembered who he saw. So once I went up to my brother's house in Florida. I said, "Well, how things going?" He said, "Boy, this man nearly got me in trouble, boy." I said, "What happened?" He said, "He shot me 3 canal from Trinidad, going up there in a suitcase, plant all around the house with body and same. And he find the tree in front, looking a little overgrown like Cheto one. Decided to chop down the tree, not knowing that in Florida you need to go and get permission. Otherwise they cite you for I know how much dollars fine. And he's scrambling now to get to 3 Haitians to basically move this thing in the night before the authorities come, you know. And he went after, if you come here, he will clean up this place because he always meticulous about these things. But you know, those are very good fond memories of him. And today, on behalf of my family, my wife, children, and sisters, aunts who all send their condolences, we wish to say that Nana will have a safe passage Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. May he rest in peace.
Thank you, Pradeep. Thank you very much. Yeah. There's so many things we know about Nana now. As we move along, we have the president of the St. Nagar Hindu Temple, Mr. Navin, and I will invite him to say a few words on behalf of Nana.
Sit down. Ram Nam Satya Hai Sabahi Ho Gata Hai. Officiating Pandit Sanjeev, respected Pandits, Pandit Bimal Maharaj, Pandit Bhavanat, members of the immediate and extended Biri family, respected elders, and all those who have attended in this solemn occasion. You would have heard most comprehensively a very elaborate eulogy and sentiments expressed by others. And most of us, except the immediate family and extended, would have been all too familiar with those expressions of sentiments, simply because they are all biologically related to the late Mr. Roopchand Sooklal. But we too, as members of the St. Nagar Hindu Temple, we also were related to him, together with his late Dharmapatni, Ms. Bhagmati Sooklal. Though we were not related by blood, we were simply related by the association that we kept, simply because of our devotion and commitment to Sanatan Dharma. And as our younger generation, we look up to people like these for guiding us and inspiring us in this noble path to lead us on the right direction by virtue of the example that they have set for all of us to learn. We have no indication of what life would have been back in those days, but Mr. Chetu did paint a clear picture. And even having done so, we cannot even come close to experience what they have endured for all of us. And so we salute them and pay tribute to them whilst they were alive, so that they would continue to motivate us in one way or the other. No life experience would be complete without their input in our lives. And so as members of the Mandir, we can say that our association with them will augur us well in the future. What we do today is because of people like them, for the example they set, by the service they have rendered by their own efforts to serve Dharma in one way or the other. And so what we do today is by the example that they have set. The Sooklal family is perhaps one of the largest in this community and surrounding environments. Their roots run deep as far as Plumita, Bish, Komoto, and otherwise. And they are notorious for their commitment to Sanatan Dharma. Mr. Chetu in particular, along with his family, are loyal and supporting members of the St. Nagar Hindu Temple, which we applaud. They continue to make the indelible contribution that their parents have set and the high standards that they leave for us to follow. Similarly, because of the expansive family roots that this Sooklal family carry, it is my wish that all members follow the tradition and the commitment that their parents have set in Sanatan Dharma. The physical remains of this body will no longer be, but their memories and experience live on through you, members of the family. And every time we see you going forward, naturally the relation will be linked of the life and times that your parents have lived on this earth. So we implore you as much as possible to continue the good work and standards that they have set for the benefit of all of us. So with those few words I pray that my Lord Krishna himself bestow his grace, mercy and solace upon this pious soul, that may his journey here onwards be a very smooth and transitional one. Ram Nam Satya Hai Sabahi Ho Gata Hai.
Thank you very much. You know, it just occurred to me, how do we measure the life of a man? If it's in time, as we do, as humans do, Nana would have lived 93 years, a long life. If we measure in terms of achievement, and I'm not talking achievement financially, I'm talking about achievement in family way, in the way of religion, in the way of charity, dedication. We might be able to say, yes, he got a grade. You know, Nana's life has been and will always be remembered by each and every one of us. And as I stand here today, I am happy to see that I will try, along with us, to continue in his legacy as much as possible. Before I hand you to Babs, we still have a few minutes. Let me just say that when we leave here today, we go along the CRH up to Kirab, and then we take a left there in the Kirab interchange, and we hit the Caroni. The time for creation that we have there is 1 p.m. So we don't have any police escort. We would ask you all to take your time and get there. Before I ask Pandit to complete, I'll open the floor to anyone who would want to see. I know many of you would know Nana and Nani so long, you know. Many people just call them dad and mom, you know, and it really is a sad loss. It's the closing of a chapter, an era, as I know it, for that persons of Nana age and era. He always boasts that, you know, he can't find much people older than him. So, yeah, thank you. Yeah, so before we hand over to Babs, we'll ask that we do a bhajan from Pandit Bimal, and then we will continue. Thank you. Thanks,
Thank you. This bhajan is from, well, immediately my family, and on behalf of everyone, Dad used to like this bhajan a lot. He says sometimes you see somebody, you say, but Bim boy, you don't know what going through their mind. He was a deep thinker, you know. That's how he used to talk, quiet. You know, Sal, you don't know what going through their mind. So he said, his heart was golden. If somebody looked at him very serious, who was normally always joking with him, you know what he used to say? I think this guy having a little bad day today. Never think anything otherwise. You know, like that? Can we all sing, please? Pinjare ke panchi re ho tera dard na jaane ko. It's in your pamphlet. O pinjare ke panchi re ho
तेरा दर्द न जाने कोई, दर्द न जाने कोई। बाहर से तू खामोश रहे तू, भीतर भीतर रोए रे, हे भीतर भीतर रोए, तेरा दर्द न जाने कोई, तेरा दर्द न जाने कोई। कह न सके तू अपनी कहानी, तेरी भी पंछी क्या जिंदगानी रे। कह न सके तू अपनी कहानी, तेरी भी पंछी क्या जिंदगानी रे। ये पत्थर का देश है पगले, कोई न तेरा होए, तेरा दर्द न जाने कोई, तेरा दर्द न जाने कोई। पिंजरे के पंजीरे चुपके चुपके रोने वाले, रखना छिपा के दिल के छाले रे। हो चुपके रोने वाले, रखना छिपा के दिल के छाले रे। ये पत्थर का देश है पगले, कोई न तेरा होए, तेरा दर्द न जाने कोई, हो तेरा दर्द न जाने कोई। पिंजरे के पंछी रे। राम नाम सत्य है। Oh, thank you for the opportunity. God's blessings to all of you.
Thank you, Pandit Bimal. Thank you very much. I will now pass you over to the officiant Pandit, and then thank you.
Om Hari Om Tat Sat, Pretatma Shanti, Ram Nam Satya Hai. So, even as we have spent the last few moments remembering the life that was lived by the deceased and all the memories, etc., that we have, we wish to take this moment now to turn back the focus on the purpose, onto the purpose for which we have come, and which will be the theme of, or the underlying reason for all that we will do from here on going forward in terms of the rituals and the prayers, etc., that we will be offering. And it is speaking now to the journey that begins today for that soul, and of course would come to a culmination at the end of the 1 year. And what happens is we have the wish for that soul. Krishna Bhagwan reminds us in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, he says, Mamai Vamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatanaha Manaha Shashtan Indriyani Prakritistani Karshati. Firstly, whatever we are doing is dedicated towards helping that soul on the journey. And we first must identify what that soul is. The soul, or the Jivatma, the life-giving aspect that exists in all of us. It is a particle of myself, he says. I am the Paramatma. This is, so when we think of Krishna Bhagwan, when we use that name, Sri Krishna, we think of the Paramatma. That is who he identifies himself as, the supreme soul of the universe, the underlying controller, or the over-controller of all. But he says this soul is a particle of myself. And so the soul is a part of Bhagwan Sri Krishna. So that is why our purpose is to return that soul into oneness with Paramatma. But there becomes a hindrance to getting that result. And he says, I think it's inherent in the bhajan that Baba just gave to us. The soul becomes enclosed in the mind and the five senses. That is our personality, right? We are the product of our mind and our five senses. The actions we perform, the words we speak, the thoughts we have, the decisions we make in life, and all these things, it is the product of the mind and the five senses, and that is who we are. But it might be considered like a cage for the soul. That is what that bhajan is saying, right? It is a bird in a cage. The bird is singing, but you don't know what sadness is in the heart of the bird. And the sadness for the soul is if we happen to be living that life that is not in line with dharma or not on the righteous pathway as we go along. The soul becomes sad. The soul is like that sad bird encaged by the sinful mind and the five senses. The sinful person creates that cage for the soul. So what happens is, seeking that result for returning that soul into oneness with Bhagwan, there is one obstacle or one hindrance. And that is to say, the negative karmas. Because he says, Shariram yadavapnoti yachap yutkramati shwaraha grihit vaitani samyati vayurgandhani vashayat. That when the soul now has to depart the body at the allotted time or the appropriate time, because as Pandit Bhaunat also reminded us, nobody here to stay forever, right? And I think 93 is a very good number. Many of us will not be so lucky, right? And so the soul now departing the body, which it must do at some point, it takes with it the mind and the five senses. So this now becomes the hindrance. What becomes the hindrance is with the mind and the five senses, the record of this life is gone, the consciousness is gone, it exists somewhere else. But it also is the weight of the actions, the record of the karmas that we have performed, the good and the bad actions. So we take two reminders as well from this. Firstly, it reminds us that the mind and five senses exist somewhere else. So that is not the end of our relationship with our loved one, right? The consciousness exists somewhere else. In Hinduism, we consider the ancestors or the pitris to be existing with the memories and the connection of this life. We consider 3 levels of pitris depending on who is the oldest generation, father, grandfather, great-grandfather, etc. Of course, the deceased, the recently deceased or the newly deceased will not be a pitri until after the 1-year bandara is completed. And so we consider that the relationship is not at an end. We remain connected to the pitris. They remain dependent on us, and we remain dependent on them for our welfare here in the world as well. And more importantly, we are asking Preta Moksha Pradobhava. Please grant this soul oneness with yourself to return into oneness with you as the Param Atma or the Supreme Soul. But the one obstacle there is the weight of sins. Now, of course, this is the purpose of all of our rituals, to seek to help the soul to get, because all the rituals are done on behalf of that departed soul. Now we recognize that, as good as all of us might be, or we might try to be, we have sin inherent in certain activities, even our mere survival, right? I think Pradeep mentioned that he was into cleaning and keeping the place well maintained and so on. Even something like that. When you're maintaining and you're spraying and all these things, you're destroying some of the insects around, etc. These days we're trying to destroy all the mosquitoes, right? So there is inherent sin even in our day-to-day survival. So we do have a little bit of sin, no matter how good we are or we may feel about it. We do carry some, and so we perform these activities for assisting the soul even to get released from the minimal amount of sin, to give the soul that best possible chance for the attainment of course, if not moksha, what we say in the mantras that we use for all the pinda offerings, we say from asadgati vinashartam, sadgati praptyartam cha. Asadgati is any state of difficulty, any state of uncertainty. Please destroy that by this offering. Let that assist the soul to being free from any difficulty. Sadgati, may the soul get sadgati, be in a place where there is no suffering or no pain or no difficulties. And so this is the underlying purpose of all that you will be performing from here on straight until the 1 year. This is the purpose of the giving of the pindas, the giving of the dan, the offering of the tarpan, the offering of the light, the rituals that are performed, etc. It is all dedicated to that purpose. So with that few thoughts in mind, I invite everyone to stand with us for a few moments as we join in a final prayer once more to conclude this part of the ritual, seeking the blessings of Bhagwan upon that soul and offering that soul once more into the hands of the Supreme Lord of the Universe. Following the conclusion or the closing prayer, we would afford the opportunity for the closer family, children, etc., to offer their flowers and who want to offer arti, etc. And then we would afford all those present as well who wish to have a moment viewing the body, putting a flower, etc. We would afford time for all of that before we depart on the final journey to the cremation site. Hari Om. So we join in focusing once more on Bhagwan, the Supreme Lord of the Universe, seeking the blessings or that protection, offering that soul into oneness with Bhagwan. Sri Ramachandra Kripalo Bhajamana Harana Bhava Bhaya Darunam Navakanjalochana Kanja Mukha Karakanja Padakanjarunam Kandarapaya Ganetaya Meta Chavi Navanila Niraja Sundaram Patapita Mana Hotarita Ruchi Suchi Naumi Janaka Sutavaram Bhajudina Bandhu Dinesha Danava Daitya Vamshani Kandanam Raghunanda Ananda Kanda Koshala Chandra Dasharata Nandanam Sera Mukota Kundala Tilaka Charu Udarayanga Vibhushanam Ajanu Bhuja Shara Chapadhara Sangrama Jita Karadushanam Iti vadati tulasi dasa shankara shesha muni manaranjanam mama hridaya kanjani vasa kuru kama dikaladala ganjanam Mana jahira cheo milahi sovara Sahaja Sundara Savaro Karuna Nidhana Sujana Shila Sanehu Janataravaro Ehi Bhati Gauriya Sisa Sunisiya Sahita Hiya Harashiyali Tulasi Bhavani Puji Puni Puni Mudita Mana Mandira Chali Hari Om Tvamadi Deva Purusha Purana Tvamasya Vishwasya Param Nidhanam Vetasi Vedyam Chaparam Chadhamam Tvaya tatam vishwamanantarupa Vayuryamogner varuna shashanka Prajapatistam prapitamahascha Namo namaste stu sahasrakritva Punascha bhuyopi namo namaste Om Anadina Dhano Deva Shankachakra Gadadhara Akshaya Pundari Kaksha Prita Moksha Prado Bhava Om Shantakaram Bhujagashayanam Padmanabham Suresham Vishwadharam Gaganasadrisham Megavaranam Shubhangam Lakshmikantam Kamalanayanam Yogi Virdhyanagamyam Vande Vishnum Bhavabhayaharam Sarvalokaikkanatham Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Pretatma Shanti Ram Nam Satya Hai. So everyone can take back your seat for the moment as we allow for the daughters, etc., and the closer family, grandchildren, and so on, to make their little offering of flowers, etc.
Just one thing that slipped my mind earlier on. I wanted to extend lots of love coming from Roopchand, who couldn't be here today, and his two children couldn't be here today. I had it in my mind and it just slipped, but I know, I'm pretty sure that they might be
So whoever come in, they go come this way.
Whether they're looking on or not, I still...
They go come this way.
Yeah.
And go on.
And also Robin's children. And the Grande, they're looking on also. So we'd like to extend their love and blessings to Nana today. They all call him Nana. And whoever immediate family who are not here today, are able to be here, we'd like to say thank you. Brenda, my condolences to you. I was not able to come, unfortunately. Bobby, I could not have made it. Unfortunately, a little up and down, but you know, so many losses we have gotten recently. Family members, friends. We wish you, the family, all our love. Thank you.
Thank you. Just a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, while the immediate family will offer arati and the rose and so on to Nana and Daddy. After which we'll ask family and friends to join, and then we will again be reminded, we head to the eastern main Guaico, down Valencia stretch, the highway CRH, the curb interchange, and then we go to the cremation site. Take a left and you'll get to the cremation site. We ask you to please take your time on the road. We're not busy. The cremation is set for 1 p.m. We do not have police escort, but we are going to take our time and get there. Thank you.
All of you come together, say just 1 hour.
Yeah, I'll put it in. I'll go behind them.
And the one I do yesterday had no eulogy, and then
What are we here?
Mahindra, daughter-in-law, father, down in Gasparillo. Mahindra from Coleman. Yeah. daughter or father.
हरे हरे गोपाल राधे गोविंदा
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 राधे गोविंदा 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 राधे गोविंदा
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय
गोविंद जय जय गोपाल 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 जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय
जय कृष्ण हरे श्री कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे जय कृष्ण हरे श्री कृष्ण हरे दुखियों के दुख दूर करे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे जय कृष्ण हरे श्री कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे जब चारों तरफ अंधियारा हो आशा का दूर किनारा हो जब चारों तरफ अंधियारा हो आशा का दूर किनारा हो और कोई न केवल हारा हो फिर तू ही बेड़ा पार करे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे जय कृष्ण हरे श्री कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे जय कृष्ण हरे श्री कृष्ण हरे दुखियों के दुख दूर करे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे जय कृष्ण हरे श्री कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे तू चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे विष को भी अमृत कर दे तू चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे विष को भी अमृत कर दे पूरन कर दे उसकी आशा पूरन कर दे उसकी आशा जो भी तेरा ध्यान धरे जो भी तेरा ध्यान धरे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे जय कृष्ण हरे
दुखियों को दुख दूर करे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे.
जब चारों तरफ
Hand out the flowers and do anything.
आशा का
Whoever come in will pass it to them flowers.
हो जब चारों तरफ अंधियारा हो आशा का दूर किनारा हो, और कोई न खेवन हारा हो, फिर तुम ही बेड़ा पार करो, तुम ही बेड़ा पार करो। जय कृष्ण हरे श्री कृष्ण हरे, दुखियों के दुख दूर करे। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे। तू चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे, विश्व को भी। Anyone wishing to come, you can please come quickly. तू चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे, वो विश्व को भी अमृत कर दे, पूर्ण कर दे सबकी आशा, पूर्ण कर दे सबकी आशा। जो भी तेरा ध्यान धरे, जो भी तेरा ध्यान धरे। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे, जय कृष्ण हरे, श्री कृष्ण हरे। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे। तेरे दर्शन को मैं तरस रहा, तेरा नाम की माला जपते रहा। भव सागर से मोरी नैया, हो भव सागर से मोरी, तन में जाय किनार हो, तन में जाय किनार हो। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे, श्री दुखियों को। जय जय जय। आए भी अकेला, जाए भी अकेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला। बोलो, आए भी अकेला, जाए भी अकेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है। जिनके लिए है तूने महल सजाए, जिनके लिए है तूने महल सजाए, मतलब की यार सारे सभी है पराए। इनके लिए है कितना तूने दुख झेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है। बोलो, जाए भी अकेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है। ये जिंदगी है प्यारे एक झूठ सपना, ये जिंदगी है प्यारे एक झूठ सपना। खैरों की दुनिया में नहीं कोई अपना, सबकी रहट हुई मैं हूँ अकेला। 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला। बोलो, आए भी अकेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है। The final bhajan, while the rest of the line will come. As you know, over the last year maybe, or a little over, every 2 words of Daddy will be Mama. Call Mama, Mama, Mama all the time. So he is going to meet with Mama. And what do we say of Mama? माँ तेरी ममता कितनी, कितना प्यार जगाती है, कितना। माँ तेरी ममता कितनी, कितना प्यार जगाती हो, कितना। श्वास श्वास की रक्षा करती, श्वास श्वास की रक्षा करती, पग पग प्राण बचाती है, कितना प्यार माँ तेरी ममता, फ्लावर्स, कितना प्यार जगाती है, कितना प्यार तू ऋषियों की रिद्धि सिद्धि, तू ब्रह्मा की भक्ति माँ, तू विष्णु की माया देवी, तू शंकर की शक्ति माँ, तू हाथों से भाग्य जगा दे, भागी भागी आती है, कितना प्यार माँ तेरी ममता कितनी प्यारी, जगाती है, कितना प्यार तू काली महाकाली दुर्गा, तू ही बाल भवानी है, तू पुराण का तार शारदा, तू वेदों की है, तू काली महाकाली दुर्गा, तू ही बाल भवानी है, तू पुराण का तार शारदा, तू वेदों की वाणी है, तू बालक को गोद में लेकर जीवन गीत सुनाती है, कितना प्यार जगाती है, माँ तेरी ममता कितनी प्यारी, कितना प्यार जगाती है, कितना प्यार जगाती है। ओ yeah, I think we are good. I think if you take it out now, we all come back. We'll leave it there so we'll come back again.
Now I can set out the time to leave.
As it is. As soon as they're ready, we're ready. Yeah. Okay, we have plenty of people. Yeah, but have plenty of people going to be waiting.
Ayash always the officiating pundit, they watching the people.
Hey.
मारे ही सूटा प्राण निकाले, प्राण लोकाई खोतरिया खोतरिया, ओ प्राण लोकाई खोतरिया खोतरिया रे, कोई ना ले जाए धन बांध के घतरिया, कोई ना ले जाए धन बांध के घटरिया, कोई ना ले जाए धन बांध के घटरिया। चार प्रहर मिली काट उठावे, चार प्रहर मिली काट उठावे, फूक दिया जैसे बन के लकड़िया, फूक दिया जैसे बन के लकड़िया रे, कोई नाल जय धन बांध के घटरिया, कोई नाले जय धन बांध के घटरिया, कोई नाले जय धन। कहत कबीर सुनो भाई साधु, कहत कबीर, कहत कहत कबीर सुनो भय साधु, छूट गए सब महल उतरिया, छूट जाए सब महल उतरिया, कोई नाले दे धन बांध के घटरिया, कोई नाले दे धन बांध के घटरिया, अरे कोई नाले दे धन बांध के।
भागवत भगवान की है आरती, पापियों को पाप से है तारती। भागवत भगवान की है आरती, पापियों को पाप से है तारती। भागवत भगवान की है आरती, पापियों को पाप से है तारती। ये अमर ग्रंथ, ये मुक्ति पंथ, ये पंचम वेद निराला, नव ज्योति जगाने वाला। ये अमर ग्रंथ, ये मुक्ति पंथ, ये पंचम वेद निराला, नव ज्योति जगाने वाला। हरि गान यही वरदान, यही जग के मंगल की आरती। पापियों को पाप से है तारती, भागवत भगवान की है आरती। पापियों को पाप से है तारती। ये शांति गीत पावन पुनीत शापोक मिटाने वाला, हरि दर्श
Take the water, you could stand up, you could stay right here, sprinkle water a few times on the body. Om Kashyap Gotrasya Roopchand Sooklal Paritasya Mritastani Shavanamitam Snanam Maya Diyate Tava Upatishtitam. Alright, take the light. Om Kashyap Gotrasya Oh, light it back. Right, do 5 over the head area here as far as I could reach. Om Yamdware Mahagore Andenatamasavrite Tatravalokanarthaya Deepo Yamupatishtatam. Om Kashyap Gotrasya Roopchand Sooklal. Drop it right here. Sprinkle water. You can drop the whole thing. Sprinkle water 5 times around the kanfa and 3 times just near the kanfa. Om Suryam Chakshur Gachatu Vatamatma Dyam Chagacha Pritavicha Dharmana Apova Gachayati Tatate Hitam Aushadishu Pratitishta Sharira. Om Pancha Tattva Shanti. Yeah, 3 times on top the kanfa. Or just near the kanfa. Just drop it straight down. Om Pancha Tattva Shanti Bhavatu. Om Pancha Tattva Shanti Bhavatu. Om Pancha Tattva Shanti Bhavatu. Take out the pinda from the right hand and put it in the left hand. Try not to let it break, right? Like if you just grip slightly. The cloth could come up higher. Or they're not the doll. Okay. Alright. Alright, take our next pinda in your hand there. Om Kashyap Gotrasya Roopchand Sooklal Pritasya Dwara Deshe Panta Nimitta Vishnu Daivato Vaikate Pindo Mayadiyate Tavopatishtam. Touch the forward, that one going in the right hand. Put the hand like that just over the pinda. Let the water pour like when you offer interpan, right? Alright. That's it. Ram Nam Satya Hai. Right, or let it load up. Om Prehi Pratibhi Ram Nam Satya Hai. Alright. Go ahead now.
ये मधुर बोल जग फंट खोल मन मार्ग दिखाने वाला बिगड़ी को बनाने वाला ये मधुर बोल जग फंट खोल मन मार्ग दिखाने वाला बिगड़ी को बनाने वाला श्री राम यही घनश्याम यही प्रभु की महिमा की आरती पापियों को पाप से है तारती भागवत भगवान की है आरती पापियों को पाप से है तारती भागवत भगवान की है आरती पापियों को पाप से है तारती
या देवी सर्वभूतेषु लक्ष्मीरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः
ह्रीं श्रीलक्ष्मीभ्यो नमः। ह्रीं श्रीलक्ष्मीभ्यो नमः। ह्रीं श्रीलक्ष्मीभ्यो नमः।
One day this life will leave this body, and I will exist no more in this material world. Every living being must eventually marry the bride of death. Let not the mind lust at physical wealth and pleasures. The services that we can perform, do it now, for you may never get the opportunity to pass this way again. Glorify the name of the Lord and receive His blessings. एक दिन हमें भी जाना है. One day we will all have to leave this world.
एक दिन हमें भी जाना है, एक दिन हमें भी जाना है। जग चला जाता है सारा, जग चला जाता है सारा, इकता कौन ठिकाना है। एक दिन हमें भी